Mountain Mitsubishi of Hickory offers free roadside repair or replacement and a price match guarantee on all their tires. I'm Ralph Mangum here on the WHKY News. Time now for our weekly review of some of the crime stories we aired during the week of July 15th through July 19th. Let's dive right in.
The suspect in this case is charged with multiple offenses. He was arrested following a reported standoff at a residence here in Catawba County on Friday. One of the warrants against the suspect is reportedly connected to social media postings. As of the time I'm filing this report, the suspect remained in jail here in Catawba County. 30-year-old Ian Maurice McMahon of Conover was arrested Friday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with 3 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon, 2 counts of felony probation violation, along with single counts of trafficking opium or heroin, trafficking methamphetamine, possession of meth, and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office and U.S. Marshals went to a mobile home on Guy Baker Road at approximately 5 a.m. Friday to serve warrants on McMahon. He was at the residence along with a woman. They refused to exit. The Sheriff's Office deployed the STAR, or Special Tactics and Response Team, to the home. After more than 3 hours, a woman exited the dwelling. McMahon surrendered shortly after. The woman was released once McMahon was in custody. One of the warrants, according to our news partner WACB, concerned McMahon's social media postings, including one where he reportedly stated, quote, "People in charge need to be forcibly replaced where it's probably not going to be accomplished without some bloodshed," end quote. McMahon is on probation as a result of a conviction in Catawba County in April of last year for felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance. He received probation and a 24-month suspended sentence. McMahon was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility in Newton following his arrest. As of the time I'm filing this report, his bond was set at $145,000. He was awaiting a Monday Superior Court appearance. Reporting from Catawba County for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood. A Burke County man faces felony sex offense charges. The suspect was arrested late last week following an investigation that began early this month. The suspect was placed in jail here in Burke County without bond, and as I file this report, he remains in custody. 57-year-old Michael Curtis Barnett of Park Avenue in Drexel was arrested Friday by Burke County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of indecent liberties with a minor and statutory sex offense by an adult. On July 6th of this year, detectives with the Burke County Sheriff's Office received information regarding a possible sexual assault on a child. The investigation led to the felony warrants being issued against Barnett. He was taken into custody shortly after 1 p.m. Friday without incident. He was placed in the Burke County Jail without bond and remained in jail as of the time I'm filing this report. A Monday district court date was scheduled. The investigation is ongoing.
A Lenoir man is charged with 5 felonies. 55-year-old Bandon Salvanow of Hickory Street in Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 5 felonies, 2 counts possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver methamphetamine, maintaining a vehicle, or dwelling for controlled substance, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Salvanow was jailed under a $100,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. No court date was listed.
On July 10th, a month-long investigation into suspected marijuana distribution and the sale of counterfeit items led to the execution of search warrants at 7 local smoke and vape shops in Statesville. Iredell County narcotics investigators uncovered evidence that the shops were selling products labeled as hemp and CBD that contained more than the legal THC limits set by state law. They also received complaints from the public alleging that the stores sold the items to school-aged children. While executing the search warrants, investigators and other agents seized approximately 20 pounds of marijuana products and 664 pieces of counterfeit merchandise. A list of the smoke and vape shops involved is posted at WHKY.com. The investigation is ongoing.
A Gastonia man is charged with breaking and entering into 2 homes. 46-year-old Tanao Chitamath of Lane Zhang Road in Gastonia was charged with 2 felony counts of breaking and entering and 1 felony count each of larceny after breaking and entering and possession of stolen goods. According to Lincoln County deputies, the homeowner arrived to find 46-year-old Tanao Chitamath standing in his kitchen wearing the homeowner's clothes and shoes. The homeowner called 911 and deputies responded and took the man into custody. Detective Jay Probst with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division arrived to process the scene and investigate further. 2 bags were found outside the residence that contained items from inside the residence, and a bicycle was found outside a building located on the property. Inside the bags, detectives located evidence that the suspect had also broken into a nearby residence located near the 6900 block of Golden Eagle Trail. Chitamath received a no bond hold pending appearance before a district court judge on July 16th for the break-in on North Ingleside Farm Road and a $1,000 secured bond for the break-in to Golden Eagle Trail. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
23-year-old William Alexander Munoz Pineda and 24-year-old Laura Bell Redden, both from Charlotte, have both been charged in connection with a theft ring in which businesses and individuals were targeted in Denver and the surrounding area. They were arrested by Lincoln County Sheriff's detectives on July 11th after they were identified as suspects in several cases involving the theft of trucks, trailers, a side-by-side trailer, and a zero-turn lawnmower, along with the attempted theft of a motorcycle. Munoz Pineda was charged with 2 felony counts of larceny of a motor vehicle and 3 counts of felony larceny, along with 1 felony count each of possession of a stolen motor vehicle and attempted larceny of a motor vehicle. Redden was charged with 1 felony count of attempted larceny of a motor vehicle. She also faces 2 felony counts of larceny of a motor vehicle and 3 counts of felony larceny, along with 1 felony count of assault with a deadly weapon on a law enforcement officer. Redden has not yet been served on those charges. The suspects were linked to 4 separate cases. In one case, deputies recovered a stolen truck from Charlotte in Denver. In another case, detectives recovered an enclosed trailer stolen from Denver at an address in Charlotte, along with 2 stolen trucks from Gaston and Mecklenburg counties. In a third case, detectives identified the same subjects in connection with the attempted theft of a motorcycle in Denver. According to detectives, Munoz Pineda and Redden were involved in all 3 cases. In a fourth case, Redden nearly struck a deputy with a stolen truck that she was driving after the deputy encountered her at a business near the 400 block of Atwater Lane in Denver. A brief pursuit ensued before deputies ended the chase due to traffic conditions and public safety concerns. The truck was later recovered at an address in Charlotte. On July 12th, detectives recovered additional stolen items, including a zero-turn mower in Pageland, South Carolina. An attachment for the mower was recovered after detectives found it at a business in Matthews. Those items were returned to the owner yesterday. Following their arrest, Munoz Pineda was scheduled to appear in a Gaston County courtroom Tuesday on stolen vehicle and meth charges. Both suspects have Lincoln County court dates coming up on August 1st. 54-year-old Terry Lee Peeler of Morganton was arrested in Burke County Tuesday. He was charged with felony possession of a firearm by a felon and misdemeanor assault by pointing a gun. At about 12:20 Tuesday afternoon, officers responded to an address on Old NC 18 in reference to reports of a man making threats with a gun. The first officer on the scene saw 2 males walking on Old NC 18 near the residence. Officers spoke with both men and began their investigation. The investigation revealed that Terry Lee Peeler had recently been released from prison and made his way back to the residence on Old NC 18. The reporting party told officers that Peeler broke into her residence and found her pistol in the home. Peeler then pointed the gun at several individuals in the residence and threatened to kill them. Peeler was taken into custody and placed in the Burke County Jail under a $5,500 secured bond. He was scheduled to make a first appearance in district court Tuesday in Morganton.
A Vail woman was arrested by authorities in Burke County on a trafficking charge that was filed here in Catawba County. The suspect also faces previously filed charges in Burke. As of the time I'm filing this report, she remained in custody in Catawba County. 27-year-old Bridget Ann Bissett of Willis Road in Vale was arrested last Thursday by Burke County sheriff's officers. She's charged in Catawba County with trafficking opium or heroin. Bridget Ann Bissett faces charges in Burke County, including felony counts of larceny, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and probation violation. The probation was imposed following a conviction in February of this year for felony larceny. That conviction was in Burke County. Following last Thursday's arrest, Bissett was jailed in the Catawba County detention facility under $25,000 bond. No upcoming Catawba County court dates were listed.
A Lenoir man has been charged as a habitual felon in Caldwell County. 57-year-old Kevin Thomas Tolbert of Bradford Mountain Road in Lenoir was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felonies, larceny by removing, destroying, or deactivating a computer, and 2 counts as a habitual felon. Tolbert was also charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of probation violation and jailed under $110,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A Superior Court date was scheduled for August 5th. And a Hickory man charged with possession of stolen property in Caldwell County. 38-year-old William Shalone Linebarger of 2nd Street Drive in Hickory was arrested on Thursday by Caldwell County sheriff's officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, possession of stolen property, and a misdemeanor, resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer. Linebarger was jailed under $26,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. No court date was listed.
A woman arrested earlier this week by authorities here in Alexander County faces fraud and theft charges in Catawba County. The suspect was released on bond and is scheduled to appear in court in Newton. 43-year-old Melanie Amanda Green of Hickory was arrested Sunday by Alexander County sheriff's officers. Green was served Catawba County warrants for felony counts of insurance fraud and larceny. She was released from custody under a secured bond of $15,000. A Catawba County Superior Court date was scheduled this past Monday in Newton. 22-year-old Cheyenne Nicole Krause was arrested Tuesday by authorities in Alexander County. She's charged with felony possession of Schedule I controlled substance and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. Krause was detained in the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. A district court appearance for Krause is scheduled for July 22nd. The next suspect is an Alexander County resident who is charged with assault and false imprisonment. 51-year-old Marlon Chad Watts of Taylorsville was arrested Monday by Alexander County sheriff's officers. He's charged with assault on a female, assault by communicating threats, and false imprisonment. Watts was jailed in the Alexander County Detention Center following the arrest without bond. A court date is set for August 20th. A Taylorsville man was given an active jail sentence following a Monday court appearance. 40-year-old Kyle Rayvon Shepard was found to be in contempt of court. He was sentenced to serve 42 days in the Alexander County Detention Center. He was appearing in court on a probation violation charge. Reporting from Alexander County for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
31-year-old Shamikia Renee McCombs of Rutile Street in Conover was arrested by Hickory police Saturday on 1 felony count of habitual larceny. She was taken into custody without incident at about 5:15 p.m. Saturday at a retail clothing store on Catawba Valley Boulevard Southeast. McCombs was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility where she's being held without bond on a parole violation. She was paroled in November of last year following a November 2022 conviction in Catawba County for felony larceny. No court dates are currently listed for the habitual larceny charge or the parole violation. However, McCombs was due in court on July 17th on multiple counts of second-degree trespassing. 38-year-old Michael David Kennedy, who is listed as a homeless person from Hickory, was arrested by Hickory police Tuesday on a warrant for arrest charging him with habitual larceny. The complainant on HPD's arrest report was listed as the Longview Police Department. Kennedy was taken into custody without incident at about 4:45 a.m. Tuesday at a hotel on Highway 70 Southeast in Hickory. Kennedy was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility where he was initially held without bond. He is no longer listed as an inmate in Catawba County. A first appearance in district court was scheduled Tuesday in Newton. Kennedy also has a July 22nd court date for possession of methamphetamine and an August 8th appearance for misdemeanor larceny, both in Newton. In addition, Kennedy will appear in a Gaston County courtroom on August 5th on charges of removing, destroying, or deactivating an anti-theft device, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and misdemeanor larceny.
This incident occurred last week here in Newton. The suspect in this case was injured and flown to a Charlotte hospital. He was released from the hospital on Wednesday and brought back to Newton and placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility after the Newton Police Department formally filed charges. 24-year-old Keon Jamez Leach of East 1st Street in Newton was released from Atrium Health Medical Center in Charlotte and arrested without incident. He was transported back to Newton and processed for 4 felony counts apiece of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill and assault on a law enforcement officer with a firearm. Leach is the individual who allegedly fired at police during an incident July 8th. Late that night, the Newton Police Department received a call from the Catawba County Communications Center in reference to a 911 hang-up at the Catawba Pines Apartments on East 1st Street. Upon arrival at the scene, officers were confronted by numerous non-complying subjects in the parking lot. While the officers were trying to find the 911 hang-up caller, they made contact with a man who was brandishing a gun. While attempting to get the man to drop the weapon, the individual reportedly fired several shots at the officers. After a brief standoff, the officers returned fire, striking the man, causing him to fall to the ground. The man, later identified as Leach, was transported to the Charlotte hospital where he remained until his release on Wednesday. Per departmental policies, the officers and deputies involved in the shooting were placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigations. There were no reports of any officers being injured in the incident. Leach was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $750,000 bond as he awaited a first appearance in district court Thursday. Reporting from the Newton Police Department for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood. 27-year-old Damaris Rashawn Avent of Battleboro, North Carolina, which is located in Nash and Edgecombe counties, was arrested Wednesday by authorities here in Catawba County. He's charged with felony counts of trafficking in opium or heroin and possession of a firearm by a felon. Avent is a felon as a result of multiple convictions in Nash and Edgecombe counties dating back to 2016. His most recent conviction was in November of 2023 for uttering a forged instrument. That case is from Nash County.
A Newton man has been charged with possession of stolen property. 53-year-old Kevin William Eisenhower of Kent Drive in Newton was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony possession of stolen property and a misdemeanor count of impaired driving, revocation, driving while license revoked. Eisenhower was jailed under no bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for August 7th. A Bessemer City man is charged with multiple drug offenses. 31-year-old Zachary George Stevenson of Bright Avenue in Bessemer City was arrested on Tuesday by Lenore police officers. He was charged with 5 felonies, 2 counts trafficking in methamphetamine, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver methamphetamine, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance, and failing to report an accident. In addition, Stevenson was charged with misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer, hit and run, and reckless driving to endanger. He was jailed under $750,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for August 7th. And a woman charged with possession of a stolen motor vehicle. 27-year-old Aliana Michelle Morgan of Bear Wallow Road in Brevard was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with 1 felony count, possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Morgan was jailed under $75,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She is scheduled to appear in district court on August 7th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
39-year-old Megan Sadazan of Tanglewood Drive in Hickory has been arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers and charged with murder. The victim in the case is the suspect's daughter. Just before 5 o'clock on the morning of July 12th, officers responded to a report of a suspicious person near Section House Road between Conover and Hickory. Deputies encountered an adult female who seemed disoriented. Deputies followed the woman to her residence on Tanglewood Drive. There, they found the woman's 9-month-old daughter deceased inside the residence. The Sheriff's Criminal Investigations Division initiated an investigation into the child's death. No cause of death has been released pending the results of an autopsy. Foul play was suspected. Sheriff's investigators consulted with the District Attorney's Office. The investigation led to the arrest of the suspect. Sadazan was jailed today in the Catawba County Detention Facility where she is being held without bond. A first appearance in Catawba County District Court is coming up on Monday. With details on an arrest in a sex offense case, here's WHKY's Rob Eastwood.
According to police reports, the suspect in this case committed a statutory sex offense against a 13-year-old victim. Police say that he provided drugs to the female victim before committing that crime. The suspect was placed in jail without bond following his arrest. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate in Iredell County. 27-year-old Eric Mauricio Guevara of Mooresville was arrested by Mooresville police officers. He's charged with felony statutory rape of a child under 15 years old and misdemeanor contributing to the delinquency of a minor. On Tuesday, the Mooresville Police Department received a report of a possible sexual assault on a 13-year-old female victim. Officers responded and spoke with the minor's parents and learned there was possible inappropriate conduct between the victim and an adult neighbor. The suspect was identified as Guevara, and he was interviewed by a Mooresville Police Department detective. During the interview, the suspect admitted to allowing the victim to come to his residence where he provided the victim with marijuana and had sexual intercourse with her, according to police reports. The suspect also reportedly stated that he was aware that the victim was underage. The suspect was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center without bond following his arrest. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate in Iredell County. A district court date is scheduled for August 5th. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. WHKY's Ariana Mack has more details on a Lenore drug arrest we reported yesterday, including the arrest of a second suspect.
2 suspects have been arrested following a trafficking investigation. 31-year-old Zachary George Stevenson of Bessemer City and 40-year-old Devin Johnson, whose address was not listed, were arrested Tuesday by Lenore police officers. As WHKY previously reported, Stevenson is charged with 2 felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine along with single felony counts of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver meth and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. Stevenson is also charged with failing to report an accident, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer, hit and run, and reckless driving to endanger. Johnson is charged with 2 counts of felony probation violation and 1 misdemeanor count of resisting a public officer. A 3rd suspect was arrested on a misdemeanor charge. On Tuesday, investigators saw Stevenson driving a 2024 Chevrolet passenger car on Warren Place in Lenore while having a suspended driver's license. Officers conducted a traffic stop while on Warren Place. As officers began to approach the vehicle, Stevenson fled. After driving a short distance on Warren Place, Stevenson crashed into a small utility trailer. Immediately after the crash, Stevenson and 2 additional passengers in the vehicle fled on foot. Following a short foot pursuit, Stevenson and the other passengers were taken into custody. A probable cause search of the vehicle resulted in officers finding 411.2 grams of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, and $1,626 in U.S. currency. The The suspected narcotics seized have a street value of $61,650, according to the North Carolina drug guidelines. Stevenson was jailed under $750,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date is scheduled for August 7th. Johnson's bond was set at $4,500 secured. He has a district court date July 31st. Anyone with information should call the City of Lenoir Police Department. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
A Caldwell County man has been charged with disclosing images illegally. The suspect was arrested by authorities in Burke County. He was charged with a felony count and brought to the Burke County Jail following his arrest. 25-year-old Jordan David Kramer of Peachtree Lane in Granite Falls was arrested Wednesday by Burke County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony disclosure of private images. Kramer was brought to the Burke County Jail under $3,000 secured bond. A district court appearance was scheduled on Thursday. 20-year-old Jairo Lopez Solis of Berkmont Avenue in Morganton was arrested this past Sunday by Morganton public safety officers. He's charged with felony stalking and misdemeanor breaking or entering to a building. Lopez Solis was arrested shortly after 2:30 a.m. on July 15th at his residence. He was brought to the Burke County Jail under $25,000 secured bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, he was not listed as an inmate. A district court date is set for August 5th.
A Maiden man was arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle. 35-year-old Scott Evan Tran of Withers Road in Maiden was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 2 felony counts of possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Tran was jailed under a $100,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on August 7th. A Lenoir man is charged with 9 felonies in Caldwell County. 38-year-old Elliot Patrick Cox of Wynwood Drive in Lenoir was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 9 felonies, 2 counts credit card theft, 2 counts breaking and entering, 2 counts obtaining property by false pretense, larceny after breaking and entering, and possession of stolen property. Cox was jailed under $35,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in Superior Court on August 5th and a district court date on September 12th.
And those were a few of the top crime stories we had for you during the previous week, July 15th through July 19. The weekly crime recap and all the rest of the WHKY news is posted every Saturday at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for watching the WHKY News.